You know, right beneath our feet in forests and fields, there's this hidden kingdom, and it has the power to both kill and to cure in the most incredible ways. For thousands of years, we've used these things for, well, for everything, from starting fires to fighting infections. Today, we're really starting to unlock the secrets of this fungal pharmacy. So, let's dive in.
Okay, so to really get a grip on the healing potential of fungi, we actually have to start with a bit of a paradox. We need to look at one of its most lethal members, a true master of deception. Meet the death cap. I mean, look at it. It looks pretty innocent, right? Almost elegant. And because of that, it gets mistaken for edible mushrooms all the time. But that harmless-looking exterior, it's hiding one of the most powerful natural poisons science has ever encountered.
And the numbers, they're just staggering. This one single species is responsible for more than 90% of all fatal mushroom poisonings on the entire planet. So the real question is, what on earth makes it so deadly?
Well, the answer is a tiny little molecule with a massive, massive impact. It's called alpha-amanitin. You can think of this toxin as a kind of biological saboteur. It goes in and it targets a really fundamental piece of our cellular machinery, an enzyme called RNA polymerase II, and just brings everything to a screeching halt.
And the way it works is just terrifyingly efficient. So once you eat it, the alpha-amanitin gets absorbed into your bloodstream. From there, it finds RNA polymerase II in your cells and basically jams up the entire production line for messenger RNA. Now, without those crucial instructions, your cells can't make the proteins they need to live. They just stop working. They start to die. And that very quickly leads to catastrophic liver and kidney failure.
It's an absolutely devastatingly effective weapon. But this is where the story takes this amazing turn. This exact power to kill, this precise cellular shutdown, it's now being repurposed from a poison into a prescription.
So the question scientists started asking was, okay, what if we could take that same destructive power, but instead of it being like a bomb, what if we could aim it like a sniper's rifle?
And this slide just illustrates the answer perfectly. On the left, you've got the death cap, right? It's a toxin that shuts down our cells, any cells, indiscriminately. But on the right, you see a diagram of a targeted therapy. The breakthrough was linking the two, using the death cap's exact cell-killing mechanism as the warhead for a smart bomb that only attacks cancer cells.
The idea is just ingenious. They take the toxin, that alpha-amanitin, and they attach it to a specially designed antibody. And this creates something called an antibody-drug conjugate. It's basically a guided missile that hunts down cancer cells, and only cancer cells, to deliver its lethal payload right to the tumor.
You know, this quote from the research just sums it all up. The death cap is a perfect example of nature's duality. A deadly poison in the wild that's becoming a potential lifesaver in the lab. It's incredible. But this idea of using fungi for medicine, it's not new at all. In fact, it's ancient. To really see how this knowledge has been built up over time, we gotta rewind the clock by about, 5,300 years. This is Ötzi the Iceman. He was found perfectly preserved in the Alps, and when he was discovered, he was carrying something absolutely remarkable, his own personal prehistoric first aid kit, and it was made of mushrooms. He was carrying something called birch polypore. Now, get this. Analysis of his body showed he was suffering from intestinal parasites, and this specific mushroom contains oils that are toxic to those exact parasites. This was not a lucky guess. This was sophisticated, targeted medicine, way back in the Bronze Age.
And Ötzi is just the beginning. You see this intuition across so many cultures, from Cree legends about the Chaga mushroom to ancient Taoist wisdom. And this ancient knowledge, it's not just folklore. It all culminates in modern scientific validation, like back in 1977 when Japan officially approved a mushroom-derived drug as an anti-cancer treatment.
So let's jump back to the present and look at the modern arsenal. Today, a lot of the research focuses on 3 superstar fungi, a kind of functional triad that act like nature's own little biofactories. A really simple way to think about them is as the shield, the weapon, and the builder. Each one has a really distinct role to play in supporting the body, from building up your overall resilience to launching an acute defense to actually helping with neurological repair. So first, you've got Chaga, which is the shield. It builds up your systemic resilience through this incredible antioxidant activity, protecting our very DNA from damage. And then there's turkey tail, the weapon. This one's used for acute defense because it has compounds that are known for their aggressive anti-tumor and antiviral properties.
And just to give you a sense of how powerful the shield really is, just look at this chart. It's comparing the antioxidant activity of chaga to other things. And as you can see, chaga extract isn't just a little better. It is over 150 times more powerful than other well-known medicinal mushrooms. That incredible antioxidant power is what lets it protect our cells and DNA.
And here is the weapon in action. I mean, wow. This chart shows the dramatic results from a study on colorectal cancer patients. With chemotherapy alone, the 8-year survival rate was less than 8%. But when they added PSK, that's the compound from turkey tail, that rate jumped all the way to 28%. That is a nearly 4-fold increase in survival, a truly life-changing difference.
And that brings us to the third member of our triad, lion's mane. So if chaga is the shield and turkey tail is the weapon, then lion's mane is the builder. Or maybe a better name is the architect, because it works to repair and rebuild our most complex system of all.
So the biggest challenge with trying to improve brain health is something called the blood-brain barrier. It's this protective filter that blocks most things from getting into the brain. But lion's mane is special. It produces these teeny tiny molecules called hericenones and arenosines that are actually able to cross that barrier. And once they're inside the brain, they stimulate our bodies to produce nerve growth factor, which is this crucial protein for the growth and survival of our neurons. The potential here for conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia is just incredible. And this isn't just a theory. This brilliant study shows the real-world effect. They took patients with mild cognitive impairment, gave them lion's mane, and they showed a steady, significant improvement in their cognitive scores over 16 weeks. But what's really telling, what's really amazing, is what happened when they stopped taking it. Their scores dropped right back down. This is powerful evidence of a direct, active effect on how the brain functions. So what does all this mean? Where does this all lead? We're not just talking about some interesting supplements here. We're talking about a potential paradigm shift in medicine, a whole new frontier in how we treat disease. Think of it like this. For decades, modern oncology has rested on 3 main pillars: surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. You know, the old slash, burn, and poison approach. This research suggests that we are now building a 4th pillar, immunotherapy, powered by compounds from medicinal mushrooms that boost our body's own natural defenses. And it leaves us with this one final, fascinating question. As we face more and more complex diseases, could the secrets that we've been literally walking over for centuries, hidden there in the forest floor, actually hold the key to our most pressing health challenges?